All right, everybody. BC here again. Got a thank you from Bisius, so that's nice. Did a trade with Banderlog. Alt 7, so we got Phoenix Pyre on lock. We got the White Stag, so this is noteworthy. I don't know why that went there. Here's the White Stag. The reason that I very much wanted to get this deer, like the one air gem per turn, that's going to take forever to pay off, but spreading fortune means that I'll get luck scales in my capital eventually. And as a result, my dog has something to say about that. As a result of getting those luck scales, I'll be able to maybe get more heroes. I've already been pretty lucky with heroes, but I'm happy to see what else I can get. There's one hero in particular, it's like the Queen of Nabah or something, who's really baller. Jin blocks, Voice of Absu. Ashdod has their new Prophet Mechrate. They're naming just all of their thugs Mechrate. He's a guy on the server, in case you didn't know. Blood hunting. And then everybody said, fuck you to Asphodel. Look at that. So you got some attacks from Calum and from Pythium. And not pictured here, there were also some attacks from Ashdod and I think even Uruk. So, yep. Over here, I don't think that was a boring battle. It was. Here's Pythium's main army. We can go ahead and look at what sort of spells they summon. These guys are starving. They found some crossbowmen somewhere. And here's Pythium's Bless, if you recall. Penetration, Undying, Unaging, Reinvigoration. Here's the Sporead, I guess. He's been etherealized. This is a pretty boring script, I'll be honest with you. Celestial Splendor, I don't know what that is. They did not give their Archtheurgs any gems. That's the word I was looking for. Gems. Which is interesting. These Theurgs have a bit of gems. I don't know exactly what they would do if they were fighting another army with those gems. Overall, it's easy for Pythium to replace this because they've gone ham on forts. Although, even though they have a lot of forts, they don't necessarily have a lot of income. Although they've conquered enough nations that they probably have a lot of that too. That said, when I eventually get Evocation 9, it'll be real tempting to just fire off a random flames from the sky over there and see what happens. Of course, to do so, I would need to be within range, which is not exactly easy. I don't know if any of these guys give a range bonus. It's really hard to find. Increases magic. Okay. So if I just hypothetically do astral projection over here, that's range 11. Yeah, even with range boosters, 11 is just not going to make it, because I think Flames from the Sky is only like range 3. Yeah. So you can easily boost it up to 5, but 5 is not 11. Not that I have a particular vendetta against Pythium, it's just, I don't know, I could maybe shake things up in that area. What would be best for me is if Ashdod and Pythium fought each other. Or if Calum and Pythium fought each other. Calum could put a lot of hurt on Pythium, because even though Pythium likes it hot, Murdering Winter against a bunch of humans will still, like, it'll explode sometimes and kill them. So, yeah. Anyway, going back to events, still boring. Harbinger thugs. Titanu thugs. Here's Kalen. This is actually a pretty small army. Like, I mean, it's got a lot of rows in the report, but a lot of this is just crap. Very flammable. But they'll do the job here. It's kind of what they could muster together there. And then here, Urmor attacking Atlantis. So here's the second piece of Urmor's god, Enyo. We saw the first piece die last turn. It's got a Mind Shield, so 22 MR, Brand, Acid Helm, 10% regen, but I'm sure it'll cast Personal Regen to get another 10%. The 5 Encumbrance is made up by 6 Re-Invig. So we can go ahead and see. Cast Ghost Form, so now he's ethereal and a little bit more spooky. Here's the Atlantis army. These Coral Glaives just hit so damn hard. Granted, this guy, once he casts Iron Skin, will be over 30 prot, and he can cast Temper Flesh as well, but still. Coral Glaives, man, they hurt. Water Elementals. Here's a Troll Shaman, just spamming Horde of Skeletons, I guess. And then some Vetis in the back. So if we go ahead and wait for him to finish this buff cycle. Iron Skin gave him 5 prot. I think that he probably wanted to do Temper Flesh before Iron Skin. But in any case, there's Temper Flesh. He's a bunch of Soul Slays are coming after him. He only has +9 on them, which is not a great place to be. And you can probably guess where this is going. So now he's regenerating 20%. Elemental Fortitude, so he's no longer vulnerable to lightning. If I were him, I also would have given him a 10% regen the Hydra Armor instead of Armor of Knights. But the big thing that he's missing is definitely MR. 22 MR is just not going to work for this purpose. I guess he also could have foregone the Girdle of Might. Then he would have been at 3 Reinvigoration plus the 1 you get naturally versus 5 Encumbrance. He still would have been fine. So he should have replaced that with Amulet Anti-Magic. And he definitely should have cast Resist Magic rather than Ghost Form, honestly. Like, Ghost Form is giving him Ethereal, which is pretty cool, but yeah. So, summarize what I would change about this loadout. Hydra Skin rather than Armor of Knights. Probably a Mind Whip rather than Frostbrand, because that gives plus MR, and you're still getting AoE damage from the Helm. Amulet Anti-Magic rather than Girdle of Might. So between those, that would have brought his MR to 28. And then in his script, he would have needed Iron Skin if he had the Hydra armor. So that would have to stay. But maybe Temper Flesh becomes Resist Magic, and then Elemental Fortitude becomes Temper Flesh. Not sure. I guess maybe 20% regen is enough. So maybe you don't swap out the Armor of Knights, or maybe you swap it out for like what's that? The white and green armor that gives MR and Re-Invig. And then he could definitely ditch the Girdle of Might. Yeah, maybe that's the right call. Although I don't know if he has the pass to forge it. So he's hanging in there. He's firing off all his shots. Hasn't really gotten hurt yet. Coral Guards have low MR, so that's their weakness. So he is able to paralyze them with the shield. He's gotten paralyzed himself. The acid hat is still firing acid. Prod is 31 now. He hasn't really taken any damage. You see, if you scroll through the log here, there's a few soul slays going off. And there he goes. It was only a matter of time with 22 MR. So the roll that did him in 13 plus 29 versus 20 plus 6. Oh, no, it's only 20. It was only 20 rather than 22. I don't know. Regardless. So, final score of that battle, Armora loses their god again, and because the acid hat didn't actually fire that many lethal shots, only 12 Vades were killed. We go ahead and look at those. Here's the Coral Guards. Here's the Mother Guards. I should play Atlantis sometime. Uruk moved in with this crew. Look at all this stuff. Ashipus are really cool. Like 130 gold thug that's also a fantastic researcher and communion mage. Sign me the hell up. We'll see this first Jaguar. We'll see all these guys. And then these are their cheap researcher mages that can also thug themselves, to be honest. They're not as good as the Ashipus, but they're half price. Oh, and these Umuapakalos, these are glorious. Look at these paths. Like, next time I play Uruk, I am rushing the hell out of Conjuration just to summon these things. They're insane. So we can see what's going on here. Arc cast by Umuapalu. This, they got this animated grab statue with some artifacts. So there's the love hat, keystone. This is awesome. Here's Kerr. He's got a mini love hat. And where'd that go? Where's it? Yeah, there we go. So look at all this. Look at all these artifacts. He must have bought the Aegis off of Pythium. So there's that. This sword gives his whole army luck. Boring ass armor. And then this gives his whole army weapons of sharpness, which is phenomenal versus Ashdod. It basically undoes the Fortitude Bless. So, and yeah, and like these Maidens of the Moon, they already hit pretty tough. They haven't even gotten blessed yet. Now they are blessed. They've got attack +2. He has not given them a Strength of Giants, but I mean, but with I would personally have them hang back and accept a Strength of Giants. That's just me. Oh, and this start a battle arc of the Covenant, so that's pretty cool. Here come the Serpopards. Enslaved Mind, naturally. So yeah, this is a legit fucking army. um, it would take a they've got a communion slave with all of this gear. What are you doing, man? I don't. It's clearly intended to be a thug. Oh, and here's the first Jaguar because that seems cool. Sure. um, what would I do if I were fighting this? I mean, they all have 10 fire resistance, which is noteworthy, but I mean, 10 is not a ton. So if I were fighting this, I would just burn it all. Hang back and just drop a crap ton of like falling fires and stuff like that. Shock resistance, 10 shock resistance is enough to withstand most shock spells, but 10 fire resistance does not withstand a lot of fire spells. It's tough though. There's so much mage support. And like you can't just fire from the sky these guys because they have 24 HP. So they'll just tank it. Like you have to bring a real army to fight these guys. So yeah, we'll see what happens. 168 means the mood 78 Serpopards. My goodness. Good on you, Uruk. I'm continuing to recruit more scouts at the front so that I can get more of an eye on what's happening around here. I don't particularly have a horse in this race because I do camels, not horses, but I kind of want to see where things go. I guess, so I've mused about how I would fight these guys, and it would have to be asymmetrical, right? Like, I would have to just harass the hell out of them with a lot of flying, like Ifrits and stuff, and then circle back to regroup to fight the whole army. That'd be really hard. The flip side is that Uruk's flank is really vulnerable. I don't know if Ashdod is going to reach out to Iram and have him go, "Hey, you wanna mess with Uruk?" But we'll see, because like this is a mighty army. I'm guessing that this is Uruk's like main big army. Um, so I'm guessing that they don't have too much else to deploy. We'll see. All right, so that was that. Asphodel loses a panic apostate to another communion. Ashdod attacking Nawala. Agartha attacking Nawala. They lost themselves a Golem Crafter, but it doesn't really matter. And Iram cleaning up some more TNG stuff. Oh, right. That reminds me. I need to prep for the arena, because that will be happening soon. How do I arena? How do I arena? So expensive. I'll sacrifice lifelong protection for the arena, but I'm not going to sacrifice 12 nature gems. That's just insane. Fireball. Which is the one that lets you do incinerate? This one lets you do combustion. Fortune of Bloodthorn. I could do a Wraith Skull. It's not too expensive, and he does cast cool spells, eh? I don't have enough air to make a Banner of the Phantasmal Force host. Because making a crap ton of ghosts is pretty cool. Oh, never mind. Where's that Wraith thing I was considering? I forgot about it. Oh, right. This thing died. Do I care? Yeah, I care. Let's go ahead and take a swing at that. Wraith Skull, sure. It's a god turn on it, but I will deal. One of these places I had everybody researching. Oh no, they're forging sanguine rods. Yeah. Why not? Let's... That seems silly. I don't need an extra those. Oh, I don't even have a slot for it. That would be particularly silly. Okay. So we'll send in one of these guys for Blood, Death, and Vengeance. Ideally it's someone who could send in a Banelord. Banelords are pretty cool. So then who can take... You take this. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Sorry, I forgot about the arena. All right. We got birds, independence, birds. Got caught. And we've reached over here, so we will be storming the castle. And then we'll go ahead and fly off somewhere else after that, I guess. This turn, we get Shaitans, which gives us some more options. By which I mean another guy who can summon Roots. And then we'll go from there. At the very least, we're making efficient use of our gems. That's what really counts, right? So, thanks as always for watching, and I'll be around.